If you're just getting started in the fascinating world of AI image creation with models such as Flux, you may be wondering what the settings for steps and guidance mean and how you should use them. I've got the breakdown for you right here. Before I begin though, if you haven't tried Flux yet, be sure to go check out the website Fluxpro.art. It's truly next-level quality and free to use. You get 20 credits, which refresh every 6 hours. It's a collaborative space where everyone can see each other's creations. The point is to learn from the capabilities of Flux and the techniques to great prompting. Now for the explanation on steps and guidance. When working with AI image generation models like Flux, the steps and guidance settings are important parameters that affect the quality and characteristics of the output image. Here's an explanation of what these settings typically mean. Steps, definition, the number of denoising steps the model takes to generate the image. Purpose, controls the level of detail and refinement in the final image. Effects of steps settings. Higher steps will give you more detailed, refined images, but leads to longer generation time. Lower steps will give you a faster generation, however with potentially less detailed or coherent images. The typical range is between 20 to 150, model dependent. Recommended, start with 30 to 50 steps and adjust based on results. Now for guidance, also known as CFG or classifier-free guidance. Definition, determines how closely the generated image adheres to the text prompt. Purpose, balances creativity and prompt adherence in the output. The effects of the guidance setting. Higher guidance will lead to stricter adherence to your prompt, potentially less creative. Lower guidance will allow the generator more creative freedom, but it may deviate from your intended prompt. The typical range is between 5 to 20, but this varies by model. Recommended, start in the middle of the range and adjust based on desired results. It really just depends on how accurate of an image you need, or if you're okay with the model being creative. Here are some sample generations I played around with. First, I gave Flux this moderately descriptive prompt. I set the steps down to the lowest setting, which in Fluxpro.art, steps goes from 20 to 50. The default is 25, so I set steps to 20. Also, I left the guidance at the default value of 3 for now. In Fluxpro.art, it ranges from 2 to 5. The image came out okay, a little fuzzy and not too clear, but overall, it's what I asked for. For the second test, I set the steps up to the highest setting, which is 50. Again, I left the guidance at the default value of 3 for now. I can definitely tell a difference here. The image, at least in terms of our main subject of the photo being the woman on the swing, has more detail, and overall the image is sharper. For the third iteration, I set the steps back to the default 25 and lowered the guidance down to 2, the lowest setting for Fluxpro.art. We can see that the clarity of the image suffers again as it's a bit hazy. And with the guidance lowered, it's not quite what we asked for. Our prompt asked for a front view, and this is kind of looking at the lady from the side, if not a little from behind. For the fourth test, we're leaving the steps at 25 still, but bumping the guidance up to 5. We got that front view now, but the model is looking at the camera, and we specifically asked for her to be looking away from the camera. So, again, it's not perfect, but I'm sure if we re-rolled it, would come out just fine. For our fifth and final test, we bumped the steps back up to 50 and the guidance up to 5. This should be our best image yet, and I for one happen to think it is for this particular image. So there you have it, folks. I hope this walkthrough gave you a better understanding of how to use steps and guidance in the AI image generation models that allow you to control that. Wish you guys happy creations out there in the new AI world. The sky is your limit.